Hey now guys, it's me, it's Knockout21. How are y'all doing today? Sorry for the lack of videos recently. I got a new position in my job and it takes up a little bit more time than it used to, so yeah. These videos are gonna slow down a little bit, but it's not gonna stop me at all whatsoever. I'm gonna keep on going, I'm gonna keep on making videos because I find it entertaining. I find it fun. It's a nice little thing, that I put out there. And sometimes I get some feedback from you guys. Sometimes I don't. But in the end, I'm kind of proud of what I'm doing right now. But I didn't just want to leave you guys high and dry. I want to go ahead and talk about something that I came across recently, and it is the world of fan translations and how to play them on your actual, home consoles, particularly on the SNES. Yes, these are two JRPGs I bought, and well, I was really interested in these for like a long time, especially Star Ocean. Back in the day, I remember seeing screenshots of these games, Emerald Dragon and Star Ocean. I forgot what, it might have been Die Hard Game Fan. But I remember seeing screenshots and being intrigued about it. And it made me kind of jealous because, I was in the Sega camp with the Genesis and the 32X. And I really wanted to play these games because, it looked interesting. And I remember seeing that this was like a sci-fi based, RPG. And I was really interested in it. It made me a little bit jealous that I couldn't play this game. However, there were a couple of things that were keeping me from playing these. One, I didn't have a Super Nintendo, and two, well, these never made it stateside, and I wasn't about to learn a whole new language just so I could play one game. But lucky with this modern age of like the internet and whatnot, we could easily patch these games up onto a ROM and make it available for your make it available to play on your Super Nintendo. Anyway, let me go ahead and show you how. Okay, so before you even think about playing your modified translated game onto your Super Nintendo, you're gonna need a couple of things first. First, you're gonna need some sort of cartridge reader. Now, we're gonna be using this one, Save the Heroes Builders cartridge reader. You could use other ones too. I try to use one from Retro Blasters. It's an excellent cartridge reader. However, it doesn't support every cartridge format out there, particularly Street Fighter Alpha 2 and Star Ocean. The reason why I even sent a message to the guy that created it is that his thing doesn't support the DDP1 chip just yet. That's what's included in these games. It's some sort of compression chip that apparently, I guess is not compatible with the Retro Blaster one. But luckily for me, or luckily for us, this does support the DDP1 games. So this is what we're going to be using. Also, you need some sort of device that can connect a micro SD to your computer. You can either go, if your computer supports it, you go to micro SD to regular SD adapter, or micro SD to USB. We're going to be using this because my computer still supports this. Next, you're going to need an FX Pack Pro. Yes, it's starting to look kind of pricey, but if you want to play these games the way that we're meant to, this is how you're going to do it. This particular cartridge supports many of the different chips as well, and well, this is we're going to need to play our translated ROMs. So yeah, let me show you what to do next. So let me show you what we're going to need to do next. Now, using this thing is fairly simple. You just have to pop the cartridge in, nice and firm. Turn this baby on. I'm gonna go down here, scroll down to SNES, Super Famicom. Yes, that's the kind of cartridge it is. Just checking the checksum. It's reading it as Emerald Dragon, so we're going to go ahead and push the button again and read ROM. And there you go. It's dumping the ROM into an SD card that's down here. And I have to say, this thing is great. You know, you could back up your saves, you could upload saves. It's really useful, especially if you're going to change the battery and whatnot on whatever games you have. There we go. And it's just making sure everything's okay. There you go. And with that, the ROM has been dumped into the micro SD. So yeah, let's go ahead and pop this SD card into the computer. Okay, so this is the main website we're going to be checking out, romhacking.net. I totally love this website. It has a lot of different things, especially for an old school gamer like me. It has translation, ROM hacks, homebrews, a lot of good stuff. But I'm getting sidetracked here. The main program we're going to be using is Lunar IPS. There's also XDelta that a lot of people use. However, I've had problems with that program in and of itself. Like, I don't know, sometimes the ROMs come out wrong, or the FX Pack Pro doesn't want to read the ROMs whenever I use the XDelta. It works well with Mega Drive / Sega Genesis games, but it still has problems with Super Nintendo games for some reason. But anyway, this is what we're going to be using. So it's a simple thing. Download file. Of course, I had many takes on this, but I download the file, open this up. Of course, this comes up. That's okay. And I'm going to put this in its own separate folder. The reason I do this is because it makes things a lot easier to work with, keeps things pretty clean. As you see, everything's in there. So let's close this on up. Go to the Emerald Dragon translation webpage on romhacking.net. Gonna download this file. Gonna open this up. And the only thing we're gonna really focus on is EDV12 IPS. You don't have to worry about anything else that's on here. Just get this file over here, put it in a Lunar IPS folder, and you're pretty much good to go. And the next thing we're gonna do is get our dump from the SD card. And it's probably going to be a little different for you depending on what you use to dump your Super Nintendo ROM. So we're going to go here, go to ROM, and here's Emerald Dragon. As you can see, I've been kind of busy ripping my games, but Emerald Dragon. And well, the reason I have two files is because when you go ahead and patch your ROM, it's going to fully replace it. It's, you know, and if something comes out wrong, something comes out bad, or there's some sort of glitch or error, you know, this ROM will basically become useless. So that's why it's always a good idea to have a backup just in case. So you know, so you won't have to go back looking for a cartridge and having to like re-rip or re-dump your cartridge again. But now that that's settled, we're gonna go ahead and close this. Open the Lunar IPS program. Here, let's put this in the middle so it could be easier. Apply IPS patch. Gonna select EDV12. Open. Select Emerald Dragon, Japan. Open. The file was successfully patched, so this ROM is good to go. Let's go ahead and just rename this. Rename Emerald Dragon ENG for English, right? So what we're going to do next is go to our FX Pack Pro SD card, micro SD card, open that up. Gonna go under RPG. Already got Star Ocean and Dragon Quest 6 here, but we're gonna get this ROM, and there you go. onward. Let's go to my Super Nintendo and see how this thing plays. Okay, so here we are on the SDSNES. That's what it used to be called, but it's the FX Pack Pro menu here. And we're gonna go down to the same folder that I made. And here's the file right here, Elmo Dragon ENG for English. There you go. Looks like the ROM works. Look at this little thing. Hacking by Lightcrawler, translation by Ian Neehan. Let's press start.
Emerald Dragon.
And there you go. It's in English. Let's play around this a little bit. Hey, it works. I wonder if it works. This game is now accessible to anyone that wants to play it. And yeah, it's good to go. Easily played, nothing to worry about. You don't have to learn a whole new language. It's good to go. And there you have it, guys. All that stuff I did right now. Is it worth it? Well, yeah. Translating, patching, you know, ripping your games and then like making them work on your Super Nintendo. It's definitely worth it. And the reason I say that is because as a guy that likes JRPGs, I've never got a chance to play a lot of this stuff. Mainly because, you know, they've been stuck in Japan. When I played Star Ocean for the first time on my PSP, I knew that I was missing out on the Super Nintendo version because, well, that's the OG one. That was the original. I appreciated the fact that they eventually brought a version of it over, but I really wanted to play the Super Nintendo version because that was the first images that I saw. You know, as a kid, that was the first images as I saw. And, you know, this method of like translating and patching the game, I'm glad it exists. I finally get to experience the game that I missed out on way back when. And yeah, I truly appreciate what these guys are doing. And I gotta be honest, once you get past the hurdle of buying like a cartridge reader and then an FX Pack Pro and all that stuff, it becomes a really cheap, like kind of hobby, side hobby in a way. You know, I got, you know, Dragon Quest 6 for like $15, Dragon Quest 5 for, you know, $15. Part 3 was $10. Lady Stalker 15. However, this hasn't been translated yet, and I got stuck. And yes, I know, but it is part of the same series as Landstalker, and yeah, I was curious to see how far I could get, and I didn't get far. I think I played 1 hour in, and then I just kind of stopped. So if anyone out there has a translation in the works, please tell me, because I really want to play this. I'm having a lot of fun with this. Anyway, this was Knockout 21. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. And like always, have a good one. Take care, you guys.